the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
All right, thank you for staying with us. It is still Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Time check right now is 8:43 a.m. And it's time for us to look through the major, the focal points for this morning. It's time for Milan Focus. All right, stay with us. We will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Welcome to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Thank you for staying with us. Okay, so it's time for Milan Focus, and this is the part where you get to share your own thoughts and your contribution as regards the focal points of the day. We are taking two stories this morning as our focal points. Of course, the story around the tax reform bills, and also this statement from Chief Wole Olanipekun SAN as regards single-term tenure and the suggestions that was made then that was rejected by then President Olusegun Obasanjo. But before we go into those two stories, before we go into Milan Focus proper this morning, I still have Fuad Said with me via the phone line. By the way, it's very important for us to quickly take a look at this story on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, which is saying that Nigerians were living fake lives before now, says the president. Fuad, are we together?
I'm here with my fake life.
Oh, I think I just had a review. I had a rethink of my entire life during the break, and I just realized that, wow, instead of eating 2 eggs, I should have been eating 1 egg. That was very bad of me. Anyway, because instead of eating suya with my noodles, I would have just eaten ordinary noodles. Why was I eating suya with noodles? What kind of fake life is that? Anyways, according to the report, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described the pre-2023 Nigerian economy as a facade. Asserting that his administration's tough policy decisions, including subsidy removal, exchange rate unification, which is heavily under question, was necessary to avert the nation's collapse. And he made these remarks at the convocation ceremonies of Futa and Ondo State. But then, represented by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, the President highlighted the precarious state of the nation's economy at the time that he assumed office. He said, or explained, and I quote, "We took the baton of authority at a time when our economy was nosediving due to heavy debt from fuel and dollar subsidies. These subsidies, meant to support the poor, ironically made life harder for the average Nigerian. The good life we thought we were living was a fake one, capable of leading the country to total collapse unless urgent strategic efforts were taken." And he defended the removal of fuel subsidy and unification of the exchange rate as critical move to stabilize the economy despite their short-term challenges. And he said, and I quote, because he has optimism about the outcome of these policies, saying that, "I'm glad to inform you that the results of these policies are already yielding the expected outcomes. The macro economy of our country is improving daily. The microeconomy, which directly impacts the citizens, is also taking shape with positive results." Fuad, the president said that our economy is transitioning from consumption to production.
Well, Sandra, if you look at, again, why I'm going to take it a bit easy is because this was a statement by someone who represented the president. So, but again, what he has said is not even far from what the president has always been saying about his reforms. that look, oh, the subsidy and the what's it called, the old exchange, the exchange rate, the foreign exchange market allowed for arbitrage. That instead of it helping the poor, for example, the subsidy on petrol, it was taken over by sharks who were taking advantage of the subsidy regime, and so it wasn't helping the poor, so they have to take it out. So, Sandra, what they are telling us is that they are punishing everybody for the misbehavior of a few. Sandra, subsidy was, according to them, subsidy was supposed to help the poor, but they discovered that it was not helping the poor because some people took it over. So what I'm saying is that thing that was not helping the poor because some people took it over, so they cannot fight those people. So they have to punish everybody for the misbehavior of the political elite and their cronies. So when we are saying something, we should be using common sense. If you say that subsidy regime was fraudulent, so the fraud around that subsidy, they cannot fight it. They cannot take it out. So all they can do is to not punish everybody. And there was a former president that said that Nigerians were not suffering because they are not started to eat on the dustbin. They are not yet picking food on the dustbin. Sandra, people are now picking things that are worse than dustbin. There was also a president that said people are still buying a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
So look at where we are now, Sandra. So the foreign exchange and the arbitrage around it, it is the poor that was doing it. The corruption around subsidy that made it not to benefit the poor. So the blame is also on the poor. So when the government fails in its own responsibility to tackle things like that, everybody must now suffer. So now that they've taken subsidy, Sandra, taking out subsidy and they floated the currency, is the poor that are enjoying.
All right, thank you very much for
No. Like I said again, maybe a discussion for another day. What if I say the thing in my mind?
No.
If I should say the thing that is happening is coming to my mind.
No, it's okay.
Okay, our leaders today, so they are not living fake lives again. Sandra, look at the entourage of the president to France. Sandra,
maybe
you see the entire people that went to France.
Maybe our past leaders were living fake lives. Maybe what the new leaders are now living is with a new private jet, a jumbo jet, retrofitted. You know how they bought it? The Escalade. It's not fake life, Sandra. And all the junketing. You saw that the whole Aston Villa was emptied for this trip. Sandra, as we speak this morning now, they are heading to South Africa. That entire thing is going to South Africa again, Sandra. The globe-trotting, the junketing around is not fake life. The SUVs in the convoy that keeps running up and down, doing nothing. Motion without movement is not fake life. So it is you and I that have been living fake lives. And so we must be punished for the misbehavior of the political elite and their cronies who have been stealing the resources of the country. Thank you, Fad. It's all right. Thank you very much. I just know that, I hope this has been able to, shed light on so many things that we probably had questions over as regards, the state of the economy at this time. Now, said that, before we got into whatever it is that we are now, it was a precarious situation. So we are better for it now with the policies.
So in 2012, when they said to Jonathan,
thank you.
Don't remove subsidy, kill the corruption around subsidy. What has that changed with what they are now doing? They said kill corruption, don't kill Nigeria. When Jonathan wanted to remove subsidy. So what are saying now?
It's 2024. It's not 2022. It's not 20.
So the date has changed. So the idea too has changed.
Everything has. We have to move. We have to move. With the times. Right. We have to move with the times. And speaking of moving with the times, let's move on to Milan Focus, shall we? Thank you very much, Fuad. And stop living fake life. It's not good, please.
I'm checking again.
It's not
really?
Good. Yes, it's not good. It's not good. Okay. Please. All right.
Fine, it's okay.
It's okay. Now let's get on with it as regards the major stories that we're looking at this morning. Our focal points, actually, we just have to quickly take that, on the side. Our focal points this morning are actually the conversation around the tax reform bills and the controversy surrounding it. And also, we are looking at the second story for this morning. Okay, so let's just quickly take the first one. And that's as regards the tax reform bills. We mentioned earlier what exactly the brouhaha is Please hold. We have not. That's not the focal point for today. I'm sure a lot of people have something to say as regards, the fake
Hey.
life or no fake life. But please take a chill pill. All right. Please, it's Monday morning. Please, I beg
So all
you.
the bread I gave you and I was going that we used to live, eat is fake life.
Fuad, it's
And
okay.
the
Fuad,
concoction we used to cook
don't
with
compound the issue.
ejakika is fake
Off
life.
your mic, Honorable Minister Fuad, please. Thank you. It's all right. Well, the tax reform bills, with the controversies surrounding it, there are four major aspects of these tax reform bills, as a matter of fact. But the major focus or the major, controversial point, all right, is the derivation model as regards, VAT. All right, and the northern leaders are coming up with the argument that they do not believe that there is any sectional undertone, to the bills. Okay, or that there's any sectional is there any sectional undertone to the bill, saying that the major beneficiary, the key beneficiaries of VAT, of this particular model would be Lagos State. And what we are getting now is just for someone who's probably wondering. All right, so there's this new derivation model as regards VAT sharing and all of that. Is that you're going to distribute it according to which one contributes more or which state contributes more. That's the new derivation model that they want to go with. All right, and that's we all know that VAT is the major component of revenues shared by FAC. So it means that if you contribute 50 naira, you're going to be getting more allocation basically, and if you don't contribute up to 50 naira, your allocation would reduce. So the northern governors, because a lot of people, I think we understand the fact that a lot of these companies, a lot of these companies remit VAT using the location of their headquarters and tax office, not where the services and goods are consumed. And as we all know that a lot of these headquarters and tax office, of course, is in Lagos and some other parts of the country. So they're arguing that the proposal would negatively impact the north, and they have called on lawmakers to oppose the bill in its current form, demanding that national policies should promote equitable distribution to avoid regional marginalization. So we're asking this question this morning. What do you think as regards the concerns raised on the tax bills? Senator Leon Dume is saying that they are not saying that they should kill the tax reform. They are not. Reforms are good. They're not saying they should kill it. What they are saying is that withdraw it, speak to the stakeholders, speak to those that it would affect, speak to the subnationals, the governors. They are the major people that this would affect. Speak to them first, and let's see how the calculation would work for everybody without marginalizing some region. All right, that's what Ali Ndume is saying. So do you agree that the president should suspend the bill for more consultation? And what do you think of the opposition to the bill, or what do you even think about the bill in its entirety, generally speaking, with the VAT distribution to a derivation-based model? What are your thoughts? The second focal point is as regards, what Chief Wale Olanipekun. Yes, thank you very much. Please hold, said as regards single-term presidency. All right, the story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. So, legal luminary Chief Wale Olanipekun has said that the single-term presidency proposed to former president by the NBA, that's Nigerian Bar Association, would have stabilized Nigeria if it had been, accepted. He said, and I quote, "When I was the president of the NBA, we originated it, that single-term presidency. It was one of the proposals we brought to Obasanjo as president. He rejected it then. Beautifully crafted by that time, we presented it to him. We said, Mr. President, for us to stabilize this republic, experiment this." And what is the experiment? All right, is that we would have a president from a single-term president. Excuse me. Yes, we would have a single-term president, and then, we would now have, excuse me. All right, yes. So we will now have, we have 6 geopolitical zones. We have one president from one particular geopolitical zone. Now, the remaining 5 geopolitical zones will have vice presidents from these 5 geopolitical zones, all right? And these 5 vice presidents would have portfolios Okay. For instance, a vice president would be in charge of Ministry of Justice as Attorney General. One will be in charge of education, defense, FCT, another in charge of work. So that's five, oh no, apologies. If the president comes from the southwest, there will be 6 vice presidents, not 5, 6. So all the geopolitical zones will still provide, vice president, and then they will hold portfolio. So if you have a vice president who already holds the portfolio of education, then there will not be need for a minister of education anymore, since there's a vice president that already holds that portfolio. And peradventure, if a president from a particular geopolitical zone is impeached or he dies in office, the vice president from that geopolitical zone will complete his tenure. So the next time around, the presidency will now move to the next geopolitical zone. And by now, it would have moved around. But it did not work. It was not accepted. And it said that Nigeria needs a constitution that will factor the interest of all the geopolitical zones. So we're asking, do you think this suggestion by the NBA then, do you think we should review it again? Do you think it would help, in the Nigeria of today? Let's have a conversation. For just 2 minutes, please, so we can open the phone line.
Well, on the first one, it's probably going to just be an advice to the president that this is the time for him to rethink his politics. I think I'm saying this not because of any interest going forward when it comes to whether he's going to retain power or not. I just think that there are implications, really, when it comes to the way this tax reforms bill is being pushed. If it's about Nigeria and it's about nation building, why not? Let's be a bit more persuasive. Let's dialogue more on this, if you understand what I'm saying. If the bill is actually about nation building and about the interest of the entire country, I think there's nothing wrong in withdrawing the bill from the National Assembly and engaging Nigerians more, having a more stakeholder engagement, addressing all concerns and every concern, so that we can have a more acceptable tax bill that will be devoid of these controversies we're seeing. This politicking of take it or leave it, transactional politics, I think it's not going to help on this particular one, but it's almost like an advice, really. I think that, look, there's nothing wrong in addressing all concerns on this tax bill so that it becomes more acceptable, and then we can have move on with our lives and begin to focus on other things.
All right.
And then on the issue of the suggestion by the respected Mr. Mᴏᴏᴜ, I think we are majorly, putting paper over cracks, scratching the surface merely. Because the regional concerns that he's talking about should have been well attended to by the governors we have. This region also have a political structure. We have governors, we have local government chairmen. Unless he's talking about the issue of resource control in the regional arrangement he's talking about. So the idea of having a single tenure that will now be rotated among 6 regions, and then you have 7 vice presidents and all of that. Look, no matter the kind of structure you practice, like Mr. Curtis was saying yesterday, some of the most developed nations in the world, actually a lot of them, operate a unitary system of government, central control, direct, from top to bottom, without any structure really at the regional level. They are still able to try, Sandra. They are still able to give their people good governance. So I think instead of talking more about the structure, Sandra, 1 minute, we should look at the electoral system, the process that produces the leaders. Because whether it is federal system of government or regional system of government or parliamentary or whatever structure we want to practice, if we still don't have a proper electoral system that produces the best of us to rule the rest of us, if we keep having an electoral system that produces the worst of us to rule the rest of us, we are going nowhere. So I'm sorry, we should be talking about electoral reform than even the structure of government we run in the country. God bless Nigeria, Sandra.
Thank you very much, Said Fuad. I appreciate it. It's 2 minutes past 9, so let's get straight into it. You have just 2 minutes to share your thoughts. The number to call is 0913 6000 410. That's the number to call. For WhatsApp messages, it's 0913 6000 430. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. The handle to look out for is Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can drop your comments in the live chat section and we'll take them alongside, the phone calls and WhatsApp messages. So let's get on with it. It's just 2 minutes, please.
Hello, good morning, Sister Sandra.
Good morning.
It's comrade. I greet you and I greet Alhaji Fuad this morning. And you hear me very well.
Yes.
And I greet all Nigeria mainland listeners and callers, communities of the city. The tax reform bill is a welcome idea. The interest of nation surpasses the interest of individual or sectional interest. But it's a way to all the petroleum services in Tinubu State. Pensioners are crying. I entered my custom Alhaja on Thursday. Nothing is happening. She can't buy fuel. She cannot do ice work again. Everybody is dying. Nigerians are not picking naira in our town. They sell 300 naira, 60 kilogram, 80 bags of rice. What am I saying? You don't want to do a satrato. I mean, fees and the order. Only what I receive from the Nigerian government is destroying our shop. 50 feet gap from the edge of the road. From saying that with us. Nothing they happen. I never see the effect of something. I never see the effect. And they are telling me that to return. I want to support. If they remove that, because they are paying tax for the air, which is a fraud and which is criminality. We are paying tax for people when they sell.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay, my name is Simon. I'm calling from K206.
All right, please go on.
Concerning what the senior lawyer says, there was no way that would have worked with caliber of people we have in Nigeria, where someone will spend 8 years as governor and still want to have control of that state. Number one, we need to work on the electoral system where, like your analyst said, that we produce best of us, not that people that gangster, people just gather together and use force or manipulate their way into power. It will not take us to anywhere. Concerning the issue of tax reform, well, I wish Mr. President well. There is no way he will not step on toes with own way of doing things. One man showed that is trying to replicate what he did in Lagos State, where the dictatorship tendency is there. Let him continue. By the time he step on toe, especially on the northerners, he will meet his water do. Thank you very much. We have entered one chance. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. It's all right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Peter Monte is my name from Shomolu.
All right, please go on.
Yeah. Now, Sandra, I think democracy is supposed to be the government of the people, for the people and by the people. In other words, there should be a lot of dialoguing before you arrive at any decision. Now, they are telling you the same thing happened with the subsidy gun. At the end of the day, people say you did not consult with stakeholders and you took that unilateral decision. Now, Nigerians have told Tinubu, yes, we are not totally against this tax reform, but do consultations yet. Let everybody come to a point they will agree peacefully and amicably. Why is Tinubu ruling Nigeria like the military? Even the military sometimes, they will go to their Supreme Military Council and discuss. Why is he always forcing his decision on Nigerians? This is fake life now. This is leading Nigeria with fake, outlook. This is the total fake life that he's talking about. Stop this now. And let Nigerians have a say in your government. Let Nigeria be part of your decision making. Gee, let me go to the one-term presidency. Do you know that apart from saying, bring a vice president from this, bring one from this, for me, that's the most noble way to save money in this country, because 2027 is coming. Today, they are already talking about second term. Looting, taking money, keeping money for second term. So for me, one term is enough, so that 6 years, 7 years, so you do that, and then let Nigeria save money. That's just my take. Tinubu is living a fake life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter. Hello, good morning.
Lady Sandra, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Gege Joshua.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I agree to Gafwa. It's been a while though. I've been so
Yeah.
busy with so many other things. And
You're
again, we cannot, every day I wake up, I see people calling, almost saying the same thing over and over and over again. See, I comment Ogafwa. We don't even need all this other vice president, this not answer. What we need is electoral reform. See, there are people with brains, like people with brilliant people in this country. People will take on the government of this country, and everything will start running. But this electoral process, we need to revisit. See, we are not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. These people will keep on spending billions. Ordinary chairman election, people spend millions and billions. Ordinary chairman local government election. You understand? So majority of them are post banks for loans, and they use this money to campaign. You don't we any of us calling, we don't even care. How are they going to repay this money? So they will get to power, whatever. If you like, cry. If you like, want to jump on inside terminal bridge. They will not listen. They will look for how to pay their debt. Let us revisit this electoral process. This thing is too expensive. If I want to contest now as governor in my state, do you know how much I need? But if the electoral process is seamless, anybody can apply. You just go online, tell people what you have for the state or the local government. You can fly from there. For this one, 3 billion, ordinary APC, they will say 100 million for president. For president.
Joshua. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Yes.
Good morning to Fᴏᴜ from Ogba.
Okay.
Yes, we are talking about electoral reforms where the institutions are not working. We should be talking about referendum. Let us come together and sit down to talk about how we want Nigeria to be, and with the intention that we make the institution work and stand by it. Honestly, for instance, the issue of capital punishment and the autonomy of the judiciary and INEC, those are the things we should be clamoring for, because clearly it is obvious that this is not democracy. Honestly, look at what the president is doing. So having good intentions, but the procedure is wrong. If you ask me, look at the north. You are not drinking alcohol. You are not selling alcohol. And you want to take shares. You want to share the proceeds equally with those say that are drinking and consuming alcohol. Why does that happen? It means that some animals are more equal than the other. Hello, are you with me?
I'm with you, Mr. John. Please go on.
So by and large, the issue is this, that the way to go is to make sure that we come for referendum and postpone this and do away with this electioneering. Honestly, because the best, like what I said, the ones are the one ruling us, as if Nigeria has no brain. Whereas we have, it's true.
It's
Whereas we have
it's all right. Thank you.
Good morning, Gary.
Thank you, Mr. John. I appreciate your contribution. 11 minutes past 9. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's take some messages from WhatsApp. I have Wale Oguntokun from GRA Ikeja saying, good morning. I want to disagree with Fuad on this tax law bill. Why should the president withdraw it? You didn't participate in baking a cake, and you even helped in destroying some of the ingredients, and yet you want to continue to have the lion's share of the baked cake. Where is the place of equity here? The northern governors know what it's all about, and they know what they are doing. Share of VAT that comes from it, from other states. That's the time we'll start making progress again from the healthy competition among each region like we had in the 1950s and the 60s. If Nigeria is restructured into regions, all this brouhaha about tax laws will no longer be there, as each region will control its resources. Fuad, leave it to each region to get credible leaders to lead them. Thank you. Please enjoy your day. And that's Wale Oguntokun sharing that one on WhatsApp. Emmanuel from Agbara is saying, please, if BAT and its spokesmen and employees should stop addressing Nigerians, they should govern whatever they want to govern and go so that we can have our peace. All these reckless statements from them is just trying to incite What's this about living fake life? On Saturday, I went to buy something. 5 liters of King's oil is now 20k. I literally shed tears, like, what's happening? And all we could get from our so-called leader is Nigerians are living fake life. It's an insult now. And that's Emmanuel from Agbara. Please don't cry. We're all in it together, unfortunately. Another Emmanuel, but this time from Ikeja on WhatsApp, is saying this present administration will tax the living daylight and night from our lives. With the new directive from CBN, I did 3 transactions this morning and I was charged 50 naira. We're not even talking about the EMTL. Yes. We haven't talked about the EMTL. That's the electronic money transfer levy. We need to talk about that as well. 50 naira on every 10,000 naira electronic transfer that you do. But I think whether you receive or you transfer, so we also need to look into that. That's another major issue that a lot of Nigerians have to, come to terms with from today. Actually, it started yesterday, but it's fine, officially today. Let me go back to the message. Sandra, calculate how much the CBN will make for only a day. I tried calculating it and the calculator I used showed error. Of course it will. The poor is suffocating. Secondly, no need for 6 VPs. Reform the electoral process and reform who elects the INEC chairman. And that's Emmanuel from Ikeja sharing that one on WhatsApp. Awola Christopher from Shogunle. On the long run, what we need is total restructuring of the polity, not just tax reforms. But beyond that, corrupt, free and sincere leadership is uttermost. And that's Awola Christopher from Shogunle. Bolaji from Ijoko. On tax reforms, Mr. President should suspend it for now. For me, the 2 most important things to start doing from now are: 1, the patriotic citizens and the serious opposition should legally force the leaders to reform electoral systems that cannot be scuttled by any technicality of the already corrupt judiciary. 2, we should have constructive, meaningful and selfless conversations on other 44 mineral resources being taken away from our country on daily basis by the foreigners with the collaboration of our leaders. This should enable us to take tax pressure off poor Nigerians and cause huge acceleration of beneficial developments in the country. Dakwabiodun, please fix Ijoko Agbado Road. And that's Bolaji from Ijoko sharing that one. I also have Oshodo Lawrence from Ajawo Estate. Good morning. I agree with Olanipekun. If we make 6 years single term for president, it will curb corruption and make our leaders to be more proactive, knowing that they are not coming back for a second term. Oshodo Lawrence, thank you. I also have here Mark from Okota. I know that you did not add this, my opinion on the topic today, but I want to tell the president that it's okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark from Okota. I appreciate your contribution. 15 minutes into the into 9 a.m. Apologies. 15 minutes past 9. You're listening to Milan 98.3 FM. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that one. All right. 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
I've done that already. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Adewale calling from Bariga.
All right, please go on.
My first take is on this tax reform. Actually, if you look at the long-term benefits of this, 1, as a citizen of this country, I reside in Lagos. The product I consume is being manufactured in Kaduna. And the tax is being paid directly to Kaduna because the company is based there. But in this new tax reform, I stand to be corrected though. In saying that the tax should be paid, the VAT, that should be paid to the state that the product is being consumed. Once done, you have to legal.
No, not the state that it is being consumed. Where the taxes are coming from the most. Say, for example, there's a particular state that they remit a lot of taxes from their states to FAC. Then that state would get more allocation from FAC. That's what it is.
Okay. That's why I say I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
Then concerning the monetary policy, to me, I believe we have to legal corruption that is going on in this country. 1 is the money policy that the run people that is going in that sector
that by then the government giving some certain people a relief and they give it the other way around. And this government stopped that. The subsidy that was removed, fine, father said it, that because of poor people and all of us are suffering this, we just have to get the thing right. The thing is punished. We all are going through this. But if you just try and look forward to the end benefit of all this, I'm not saying this government don't have their flaws, they have their own flaws, but there is nobody that is perfect. If you just give them time and let's look at their policy, the one that are good,
all right, thank you.
And those ones that need to be just do that. That's the thing.
Right, thank you very much. I appreciate 0913-6000-410. That's the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello? Good morning.
Please turn off your radio sets.
Okay, this is Comrade Sunday calling from Ajogli.
All right, good morning, Comrade Sunday.
I want to thank Dᴏɪṛ and especially WAP. You see, this reform issue, one thing I see in it is I so much Tinubu want to do because they are the people taking us backwards. I am speaking to you like this from Benue State because they know that they are afraid of what. Because if you look at this policy Tinubu wants to bring, if you look at the inside our this compact that Jonathan brought, if Nigeria should go back to that compact, you will see that the content in it that contains this reform, they not say that they don't want to bring us up. They always like to take us backwards. So that's why they are running away from this tax reform. Secondly, this regional or six-state governance, it will not help us. It will not help us because if we go back, this is some caliber of people will still go over again and rule us and bring us backward again. So with what Rami said, I don't agree with it. What we need is our electoral reform. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate your contribution as well, Comrade Sunday. 0913-6000-410. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Sandra.
Yes.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes, my name is Samuel, colleague from Ikeja.
All right.
Ogafor, good morning, sir.
Please go on.
Yeah, Sandra, please, there's one thing I want to say concerning this tax reform bill that we are talking about.
Okay.
Yes, there's one angle that we, the callers, and we are given an impression that all the north, that they destroy alcohol in the north. And I want to ask this question. What part of the north are we talking about? Because if I'm correct, the whole north central, they sell beer in all the states in the north central. You understand? So I wonder why we always bring this kind of insinuation that in the north they don't allow selling of alcohol and this and that. Go to Nasarawa State, go to Taraba, go to Jos, go to Kaduna. All these states they sell beer there. So I don't understand this kind of issue that we are bringing everything. We bring sentiment to it that they know they don't allow the selling of beer and they want to partake in the sharing. So I don't believe in that insinuation.
Okay.
So, and for me, right from the beginning, I want to know the president, why is he so interested in this tax reform? People are suffering, family cannot feed themselves, and all you keep on pushing to people is the tax bill. I don't know why. And nobody can question. And for me, the Senate and the House of Reps, they should reject that bill and they should put it somewhere where that is not our problem for now. I think the president should focus his attention in fixing and to make the life of a citizen meaningful for now.
All right.
It is not about tax. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Hello, good morning. Let's just take this one. We'll take some of his Facebook messages.
Hello, Lady Sandra.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you very much.
My name is Wyatt. calling you from border.
All right.
You see, this dance reform, I will just satisfy Mr. President to suspend it for now. It's been a lot of noise. Maybe you can withdraw it, amend it, and return it to the National Assembly. If it's not so, it can be suspended. And when we talk of electoral reform, it is in a country where corruption is rampant in the country. It is human beings that is doing reformation now. What have we just want is benefit?
Oh. That's unfortunate, Prince Wise. Maybe you should send a message to complete your thoughts, on the particular area of discuss. Let's take some messages from Facebook. We have quite a number of them. This is the Mila 98.3 FM, 23 minutes past 9. And the handle to look out for on both Facebook and YouTube is Mila 98.3 FM. I have Atonda Kayode Samuel on Facebook saying, wow, we're really sorry for the confusion and chaos going on now. I read some literature books years ago while in secondary school, and I really appreciate if I can still get them again. 1. Cry the Beloved Country. 2. 1 Week, 1 Trouble. 3. Beggar Strike. This book fits with the situation report in the country today, from tax issues to fake lives and NNPCL. Thank you, and that's Atonda Kayode sharing that one. Sheon Johnson is saying, God bless Nigeria. Basil Chika on Facebook is saying, pre-position on Nigerians living fake lifestyle before his fallacy, and I give him, it's okay. Kilode. Secondly, on tax reform, don't blame the opposing northerners, because there's a saying that he who bee stings, when he sees mosquito, he run away. Lagos is a case study for different types of taxes, but instead of using the revenue for general goods, it landed in the pockets of few individuals. Award for most indebted state in Nigeria. Today, the president will fly to South Africa, all in detriment of Nigeria's struggling economy. Chika Bende from Trade Fair on his own thoughts on Facebook there. I also have Frederick Moka. Good morning. Since I'm living a fake life, I believe the tax reforms and other reforms are fake too. I rest my headache. Everything is just debilitating. And that's Frederick Moka. Kabiru Adegbenru on Facebook is saying, good morning. I'm really sad to hear the president say Nigerians are living a fake life. Why shift blame on common Nigerians instead of him making life bearable for the people? God bless my country. James Nkwachi Ogbona on Facebook. Sandra, I greet you graciously. Happy New Month and Happy New Year in advance. I wish you the same. On tax reform bill, my question is, if that bill had come from former President Buhari when he was in power and intended to favor the North, would they kick against it? I'm not an expert in tax matters, but I think a lot of us are commending Mr. President for the first time on this one. I know that those northern lawmakers that are backing the bill are doing it for political reasons. Sandra, how come that the Vice President Shetima is backing the bill, yet his governor, Professor Zulum, and Ali Udume, both from the same Borno state, are not in support? Don't you think something is happening amongst the northern bloc? On the proposed single term, I think what we need is INEC and electoral reforms. Otherwise, nothing will change. I'm even tired. And that's James Ogbuna sharing his own thoughts there on Facebook as well. Darlington Ogbo, good morning. Sandra, I never knew you were part of our problem. Why you use suya to eat noodles? I'm sorry. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. I didn't know it was fake life. I will stop doing that from 2025. My focal point is on this single tenure. It would have been a good idea, but with these vampires we have as politicians, they will drain the country before the tenure is up. What we need is electoral reforms. QED. God bless Nigeria. And that's Prince Darlington from Okoko Michael. It's okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington Ogbo on Facebook. Anatoye Temitokwe Michael, still on Facebook. The move on tax reform is laudable and a welcome development, but the truth of the matter is that with the northerners and the cabals, especially such that we have in NNPC, which no president, including the president, has not been able to eject from the sector, will not find it easy to pass the reform bill in a situation where the president will still be going for a second term. I just hope his stepping on toes will not affect his second term ambition, which I doubt if he's ready to sacrifice for the sake of the country. On the suggestion of 6-year single term of presidency, as good as it would have been to me, I think we're jumping the gun, because the steps that we should take first is to call for a referendum and electoral reform. if we have a good electoral process that will produce credible people into power, it will definitely have a positive impact on Nigerians. God bless Nigeria. And that's Temitakwa Natoye from Ijagemo community. I have Festus Ologun here on Facebook saying, good morning, Mainland FM. And those are the messages that we have for now on Facebook. Let's go back to the phone line. 0913-6000-410. It is to Mainland 98.3 FM and you're on to Mainland Focus. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Abubakar.
You're welcome.
I want to comment on this tax reform.
Okay.
First and foremost, many Nigerians have not actually studied this actual reform, these proposed reforms.
Okay.
But from what I understand, is that it is it is not everything about there are some things in that tax bill that if it's not actually taken care of, it's going to kind of cut some Nigerians in terms of education and development of science and engineering. Because I listened to Professor Zulum yesterday on the Politics Tonight. What he said that reform, there are some part of the aspect of that reform that actually is meant to eradicate hedge fund in 2029. Hedge fund, as we all know, has been contributing to development of an education in Nigeria. In terms of the project that is executed in both universities. And we know that NASENI is an agency for development of science and engineering. If NASENI is also eradicated, it means our way to development in terms of development, it will be very, very difficult for us in terms of making a progress in the terms of science and technology. So Nigerians should just talk about we cannot judge this aspect of people saying that people in the north, they don't take alcohol. There is no part of the north that they don't take alcohol. The only aspect of it is that it is restricted. So when you started bringing this kind of argument that they are not taking alcohol, that if not okay, the money that is coming for alcohol should be deducted. They don't want it, and they are going to ban the taking of alcohol in the north with an implication. We say they are insulting. So we shouldn't just be driving a kind of emotionally anything. We must be objective in trying to see things so that for the progress of this country and for the unity of this country. The reform is not totally bad. The tax reform bill is not totally bad, but it should be actually scrutinized and looked into so that some aspect of the country will not feel so change. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Abubakar, I appreciate your contribution this morning. But there are two major contentious points in the tax reform bill. We have four major aspects, 4 tax reform bills for consideration. All right, I think I should just break it down because I think we're kind of losing it a bit. So there are the Nigeria Tax Bill 2024, which would provide a fiscal framework for taxation in the country. Then we also have the Tax Administration Bill, which will provide a clear and concise legal framework for all taxes in the country and reduce some disputes. You also have the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which will repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act and establish the Nigeria Revenue Service. So we'll not have the FIRS, everything will be collapsed into one, and that will be the Nigeria Revenue Service. And then finally, the Joint Revenue Board establishment, which will create a tax tribunal and a tax ombudsman. Now, the two major issues here, that is causing, some problems. It's a bold one, it's especially as regards tax, administration. But then there are two major issues here, and that's the VAT distribution in the new tax reform bill. That's number one. Okay, tax administration has always been contentious and emotive, whether we like it or not, because in the north-south divide, the major contentious part of the current proposal now is the shift VAT distribution to a derivation-based model, which means, according to the northern leaders, companies will remit VAT using the location of their headquarters and their tax office, not where the services and goods are consumed. So whether or not you consume, alcohol or not, that's not the point. Companies, a lot of all these organizations, they have their headquarters in major parts in the southwest and some in the south. The northern leaders are arguing that the proposal would negatively impact the north, and they have called on lawmakers from the region to oppose the bill. Okay, because we know that VAT is a major component of revenues shared at FAC. So if a particular state contributes more to FAC, that particular state will get more. So states that don't really contribute would get less. All right, that's the issue. The second aspect of it is the pay as you earn, which is a state tax, which is a state tax. So there's we also need to be mindful as regards that particular one, because one, we're operating a federal system, so the federal government cannot be dictating the rates and bans in a way that would assume a uniformity of economic condition in the 36 states. So the proposals on payee are likely to negatively impact the revenue of some states based on the number of workers they have in the formal sector and how much they earn. This is another reason why prior consultation with states was necessary. So those are the two issues: pay as you earn, which is a state tax, and also the VAT distribution model, the derivation model. Those are the two major, controversies as regards this. And now the northern leaders are not even saying a total scrap. They are saying have a conversation with the subnationals. They are the ones that will be majorly impacted by these tax reforms. Have a conversation with them and break things down a bit so everybody can be pulled in to the reform, and it doesn't just benefit a particular region. All right, so everybody in one way or the other on these same tax reforms, we can all benefit. Okay, that is the controversy. Let's try to stay focused. I would really appreciate that. All right, yes, there are a lot of merits, there are a lot of advantages. Proposing changes on VAT and payee without getting the endorsement of governors is the major one now. All right, so let's stay focused. 0913 6000 410, that is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
this is Moses from Command.
Navy.
Moses from Command.
Moses from Command.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I just want to go straight to the two questions that will be put outside. The first one, we talk about the electoral, the vice president and other. What I want to say about that is, number one, when that foundation is wrong, no matter what you put on that foundation, everything will not come up. And the foundation we are talking about, whether electoral reform or not, when our constitution is not giving us what we want, that is where all this other thing, no matter how good the tension we have, it will never survive. Like whatever the lawyer is saying and everything, it is quite okay, but it will only come in when we have a good electoral that is constitutional. What about that constitutional? That's the constitution we had during Jonathan. Why is the government not talking about those ones? If we can put the constitution right, every other thing is follow. When it comes to the electoral, the tax reform, for me, it is not that it's bad, but it is the way the government is going through it that is making it suspicious. I was suggested that they withdraw that tax reform, go back, sit down with everybody, because we are running a democracy. We are not running autocracy. We are running a democracy. Let everybody be carried along. Let everybody make their suggestions concerning that. Forget about the settlement. And the reason why the Northerners are against it is when the fire says something, Lagos boy, when you are applying all your voice, Lagos boy, that settlement alone, you have killed that electoral that tax form. So why not go back and let the people know what you are talking about? And lastly, whatever goes around comes around. This was what happened during Jonathan's time when he wanted to remove subsidy. That he said he cannot, because he did not go around to make suggestions or to let people contribute.
All right, thank you.
That's what he did. So thank you very much. So that's my suggestion.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Thank God that you picked my call. This is the third time. that I got through that you are reading page or honor or giving instructions. Thank God for your explanation anyway, Engineer Neil from Yaba.
All right.
Good morning to you. Happy New Week, happy New Month. We have the best of it in Jesus' name. And reform we are talking about, when we are in a democracy, you have explained it succinctly that it has some connotations that are not, who have human resources that cannot satisfy everybody. And when people are talking economic team are talk, federal economy group and the northern and even the south north, all of them, they are stakeholders. And they are talk. After talking, and they insist, looking for how many players on their Facebook to pass the bill by fire by force. It does not hold in the democracy. It doesn't hold. It is government of the people, by the people, for the people. And some set of group, some of the people that are eating from both mouth, and some organizations that we don't know what are going underground, talking the way they are talking. We don't take them serious. It's what people, the real stakeholders are saying that Mr. President should look into, to withdraw it completely and consult widely, and then come to town with people that are concerned, changing FIRS to FRS or FRC, and not that is semantic. We don't even know, we are not even sure what they have at their mind. Because Minister of Economy was saying that they are looking for 1 digit tax system. What kind of 1 digit? Is 10% 1 digit? Is 15% 1 digit? Taking from 10 to 15%? No! We cannot trust the government about that.
All right. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
I can hear you.
Good morning. Ajibola calling from Nicola.
You're welcome.
Thank God I could able to enter. See, I always go straight to point. I don't see anything good in this tax reform as they are presenting it. Okay. It might be good, but as the way they are presenting it, my suspicion is very, very high. Mm-hmm. Why? Because there is clear that there is ulterior motive to these things. One, what has happened to the tax that have we utilized even the revenue that we have been able to generate presently? I want to generate more. There is no way you will want to do any tax reform that will not come back to the masses. Just take it or you leave it. Even if you are claiming that it will not load more, it will lead more to poverty. There is no way. Just take it. That's just a simple truth. Because you want more states to generate more so that they can get more fat. They will come up with reckless, because all our governors told you to say they don't think deep. The next thing they will do is also to increase all these revenues and everything in their state, so that the more they contribute to tax, the more they will get back when the federal government is good. And that is when we go back to the masses again. The more we come back on the masses, what we need now is something that will level that will be like a circle for the hardship in the land, not the one that will now even impoverish the people the more. Right. We even bring 50 naira again on every transaction. That one is even enough to finance some things in the budget. But now that one is not even enough for them. They will still want to reload more on us. They should pity Nigerians. That is God.
It's okay. Amen. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Month. I greet everybody. Happy New Month.
I greet you. Happy New Month. You're welcome. Please go on.
Your
name, sir?
Okay. Okay is my name.
All right.
I'm in Abulado.
Okay. Please go on.
All this thing, what they are planning, all they are doing, they want to do this. Please, that you should not do something again that will affect North, that will make North not to be okay, that will not feel comfortable, because if they do it, we will suffer it, the whole Nigeria. Because why we are suffering this food of a thing, why we are suffering, it is because of the Boko Harams and the others, herdsmen, that they have been attacking them. That is why we are Nigeria is suffering hungry. So if they do anything again, they should consider North. I'm not from North, I'm from Cross River State. But those people, the Northerners, they are very, very good. And the way they are selling their thing, they are selling cheaper than other tribes. So whatever thing they are doing, so that they will not change their mind and begin to reason somehow. God bless you. Okay. We preach unity everywhere. We are all one. Please.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate your contribution this morning. That's the last call we can take for today. Unfortunately, we'll just wrap things up with a few messages that we have here. We have some messages on WhatsApp and also some on Facebook. This is still Mainland 98.3 FM. Mainland Focus is drawing to a close. I have here, hello, good morning, Noah from Igondo. There's absolutely nothing wrong with our present 2 terms of 4 years democratic process. It is equally not a license for a president or governor to serve 2 terms unless such individuals perform creditably and voted by the people. However, the flawed electoral system will never allow democracy to thrive. Corruption, rigging, threat to life, killings are the impediments that the opportune winners use as a tool for their victory. Electoral reforms and renewed renaissance to tame ethnicity and religious sentiments is the key. And that's Noah from Igondo. Owen from Lagos. Good morning. Suddenly, a bill worth deliberating on has made its way to the House of Assembly. Finally, they now have an issue to discuss. Like they said, Nigerians have been enjoying their fake life. This is the turn of the elites to live their own fake life. And that's Owen from Lagos sharing that one. I also have here... Oof, that's a long one. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. I also have here, good morning, Ahmed from Agege. This tax reform bill has also been rejected by the entire 36 governors, as including the vice president, at their last National Economic Council meeting. So it wasn't the North alone that rejected it. It virtually affects every state in the sense that it favors you here, it pinches you there. That single term will never solve the problem of corruption, but it will increase it, knowing fully well that this is my only chance. And that's Ahmed from Agege sharing that one. I also have here on Facebook, Prince Leo Ozoma, good morning and thank you. For governance in Nigeria currently, I think we are yet to get things rightly done for some medical reasons. Therefore, I would rather prefer to leave my comment with the following line of prayer. As we begin this week and month, we shall see the end of this year in peace and the beginning of next year with aspiration and fulfillment. 2025 will be, by the grace of God, better than 2024, either through fake life or real life. Happy New Year in advance. Leo Ozoma from Isolo sharing that one. All right. Unfortunately, that's all that we can take for this morning. And that's a wrap for Mainland Focus for today. However, the conversation always continues on this dial. It's Mainland 98.3 FM by 10 a.m. We move on to Global View, where we'll be looking at the trending stories on the international scene. And after that, we have Mother and Child with Sage Babalola. And by 11:15, we move on to the Lunch Cafe with Victor Achibong, where Rioja Opia kicks things off with Mainland Business Cafe. Everything in the business world, in the financial world, in the stock world, in the exchange world, Rioja has it for you to keep you up to date. All right, so stay tuned for so much more. And Okwemi, of course, will be in the Situation Room by 4 p.m. for further discuss on the state of the nation. Stay tuned.